Alright, all you Streetlight Crusaders, and I guess a couple of you Insomniatic wrestling fans out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from Pheonix, Arizona, home of the Cardinals, and I guess a lot of heat, according to what my friend Matt says. And I think lizards. I could be wrong. But either way, folks, Monday Night Raw would not only kick off with a new opener featuring Skillet doing Legendary, which sort of reminded me of the Union Nation, or should I say Union Underground opener that they used to have back in 2003-2004, which featured them doing the song Across the Nation and having the superstars in the background while they're doing the opener. Sort of brings me back to that. Same with the pyrotechnics as well that they opened up Monday Night Raw with, and along with it, a brand new stage. And what do I think of it? It reminds me of a kid putting a poster up on the wall in the form of an LED screen and just letting a little bit of it hang on the ground and the rest of it roll down to the floor like a makeshift carpet. That's what it reminds me of. Either way, still looks cool with all that pyrotechnics. But stage and pyrotechnics aside, folks, we would start off Monday Night Raw with not only a brand new announced team, but also alongside with it, the #1 contender for the Universal Studios of Orlando, Florida's championships himself, Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio will come out, thank his son Dominic, tell him that he's his heart, and then will go on to say that he's gonna bring the Universal Championship home. But before he could even say that, next thing you know, here comes the pain himself, Brock Lesnar in tow, flanked by Paul Heyman to ruin the, I guess, pre-celebration of Rey Mysterio by Brock Lesnar snatching the microphone from him, and before Paul Heyman could go on his usual stint of "my name is Paul Heyman" and the whole introducing of Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio would snatch the microphone right back from him. And before he could say whatever he was gonna say in Spanish, next thing you know, F5 to the ground, Rey Mysterio down and out, picked up again, then F5'd again, and after that, Brock Lesnar would do the unthinkable. He would go to the outside of the ring, go right after Dominic, knock him into the ring post, slam him into the ground, bring him into the ring, send him to Suplex City, like so many people would say, with a German suplex. And then while Rey Mysterio, who had tried to defend his unconscious and in pain son, would suffer the wrath of a superplex, or more or less a toss suplex, that sent him halfway across the ring, believing that he was in that match at Halloween Havoc, that he was wearing that cool jacket to represent. You know, the one where he fought against Rey Mysterio, and in my opinion, probably one of the greatest cruiserweight matches I was able to see of my time. But seriously, folks, real cool jacket if you got a chance to see that Easter egg that was on his back. But either way, after Rey Mysterio would get tossed with a toss suplex, then Dominic would get tossed, Brock would go outside the ring, try to think of his next move, go right back in there again, attack, I think, Vic Joseph, who came from backstage and got the crap kicked out of him, then Finlay, and then would toss Rey Mysterio out of the ring, only to toss Dominic out of the ring for him to skip like a stone, and then for Brock Lesnar to rip off his shirt, celebrate himself, the fans calling him an asshole, and then Monday Night Raw continuing throughout the night until they finally got an answer from Paul Heyman why in the world Brock Lesnar did what he did. And the reason why, folks? Well, it's because Brock Lesnar's in fight mode and getting prepared to fight against none other than Kofi Kingston this Friday night on SmackDown, which has been revealed that Brock Lesnar and The Rock will be in the same building that night. And if any of you at home think that Rey Mysterio is gonna somehow get his revenge for Dominic during the championship match at Kofi Kingston, then you may be on the money, cause that's exactly what I think is gonna happen. And aside from that bit of revenge that will take place in the future and probably cost Brock Lesnar a championship and Rey Mysterio his very life, the first match to take place on Monday Night Raw after all that chaos would be none other than Sasha Banks going one-on-one against Alexa Bliss. And during this match, or should I say before it, they would give Alexa her own pyrotechnics. Nice! But immediately after Alexa's entrance, you would see an appearance from none other than the man Becky Lynch, who would go on commentary and would be happy that she got her steampunk entrance back with her steam. But unfortunately, immediately after her entrance and the fact that Sasha Banks saw her at the commentary table, yeah, she would do her best to egg on Becky Lynch to come down during ringside to win this match by disqualification. But instead, Becky Lynch decided to tape her hands up during this said match, which went back and forth between Alexa and none other than Sasha Banks. And Sasha, who ran out of tricks after not only getting a 2-count fall after doing a Fit Finlay move of putting her into the apron, that meaning Alexa Bliss, and then going for a high kick to the side of the ribs, would then go for a fake out by saying, Bailey, come here, for Alexa Bliss to fall for the oldest trick in the book, get hit in the knee, and then a roll up with the tights later, or aka a Monday Night Special. Sasha Banks would win this match via pinfall. And after she would win the match, none other than Becky Lynch would hit the scene and then would beat the living bejesus out of Sasha Banks, only for Sasha Banks to run and have a case of the limber tail, as JR would say, only for Sasha Banks to get a firm warning from the man that at Hell in a Cell, she's going to collect because she made this from personal to painful. And I can't wait to see what in the world the man is gonna do inside of Satan's structure that's gonna probably be as red as her hair. Or redder than her hair, because her hair is orange. Thank you for the correction, Maestro. And the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would feature none other than the tag team champions of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode to go one-on-one against Heavy Machinery for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And during this match, action would go back and forth, and you would see Tucker and Otis doing some of the best strongman competition heavy lifting they could possibly do during this match, by not only doing a, takeover stalling suplex and even a synchronized stalling suplex during this match, and try to say that 5 times fast for a near fall. But ultimately, when they tried to go for the win and it looked like they were in firm control and just in the driver's seat to become new tag team champions, Dolph Ziggler from out of nowhere, when they tried to go for the trash compactor, would intercept Otis right in the midst of the move with a zigzag, giving enough opportunity to kick Otis in the side of the head, sending him flying outside of the ring, and then before he would get out of the ring, super kick Tucker in the face again, giving Robert Roode enough chance to do the glorious DDT for the tag team champions to retain their tag team championships via pinfall. In a match that I really did think Heavy Machinery was gonna win, but Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode proving again why they're the tag team champions. And a very impressive match, I may add. And immediately after that bit of pain, we would get another update from the Authors of Pain, once again explaining how to become the Authors of Pain, whether it be living by the sword or dying by the sword, and the sword being a metaphor for violence, which if you love the violence, you'll lust for violence, and after you lust for violence, you'll crave for violence, and after you crave for violence, you learn to dish out violence, and once you're able to do that, you will become the author of pain. So that's all you need to do to become the authors of pain? They should write a book on that. I think they did, and Cole Cabana read it online, but it had nothing to do with the instructions on how to become the authors of pain. Maybe they should add it in as an extra chapter, I don't know. And after that update from the authors of pain, we would go into another exciting episode of Miz TV, which would feature The Miz having raining pyro for his entrance. And I know a couple of you out there are saying, oh, DJ Smokey, why in the world are you mentioning pyrotechnics so much? Well, the last time I was able to see pyrotechnics on Monday Night Raw was so long ago, it wasn't even funny, 1. And 2, the fact that Miz brought back raining pyro for the first time since the New Day used to do it back in the day is very exciting for me. Let me have my moment. And after the Miz's very impressive entrance, they would have none other than the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair hitting the scene with a whole bunch of people complaining about the fact that Ric Flair on his little Titantron would say 17-time world champion, when in reality, if you count his NWA records, would be a 25-time world heavyweight champion, and then would bring out none other than Hulk Hogan, which I do believe they said was a 13-time world champion. And that I can't confirm or deny because history's written by the winners. Then again, with the NWO and WCW, he probably did, but we're not going to go any further into that, folks, because on this episode of Miz TV, besides Hulk Hogan riling up Ric Flair with his theme song and him saying, I'm sick and tired of hearing that theme song, for the Miz to rebuttal by saying, well, we heard you say woo for a long time and it's still effective. Then they would get down to business and brass tacks after taunting each other to reveal that on October 31st for another Crown Jewel event, there will be a 5-on-5 captain's team match that will involve Team Hogan versus Team Flair. And the captain of Team Hogan would be none other than Seth Rollins, and alongside with him would be the Bulgarian brute Rusev, who would come out and save him after the team captain who was announced, Randy Orton, would try to go in a one-on-one match against Seth Rollins, only for his teammate, known as Baron Corbin, would come out and try to do a 2-on-1 gangland-like assault on the Universal Champion. And after Rusev saved him, he would say he saved him for a reason and would but demand a Universal Studios of Orlando, Florida's championship match after Rey Mysterio would go to the hospital with his son Dominic, not to be seen again for the rest of the night. For Seth Rollins to accept and for that to be the main event for tonight. So Rusev stepping up to the plate, asking, or should I say, demanding a Universal Studios of Orlando, Florida's title match and getting it for the main event of Monday Night Raw. Very impressive, Rusev. Come back as somebody's baby daddy and then get a title shot. Not a bad week. And the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would be a rematch from last season's edition of Monday Night Raw, which would see the OC going one-on-one against Gallows and Anderson, better known as the OC. And during this match, action would go back and forth and would even see Gallows and Anderson pull off an old move from the playbook of the Dudley Boys of a reverse 3D for a near fall, only for none other than Ivar to come back into this match with authority by not only throwing its weight around more often than less to pull off a beautiful springboard clothesline on Gallows during this match, but also picking up the win during this said contest by doing a beautiful, I guess, Jamal-like 3-minute warning splash off the top rope, taking out Gallows during this said contest for the team of the Viking Raiders to once again win this match via pinfall. and later on that night after Raw was over, after an exclusive interview, would say that everywhere they went they've dominated the tag team division, and Monday Night Raw is no different. The raid continues. And immediately after that bit of tag team war, we would be featured with another edition of the Firefly Funhouse, which Bray Wyatt would explain the horrors of Hell in a Cell to all of the scared members of the Firefly Funhouse by telling them that it's like a world without chocolate, only worse, and would also tell them that it's basically a place where you go in, but you never leave the same without physical or emotional scars, and would say that him will walk out of Hell in a Cell and would be proud to die on a hill, but unfortunately for Seth Rollins, it won't be the same result. And Maestro with a great point just reminded me that Rambling Rabbit was so scared that he would be scared to death, and then thrown away by Bray Wyatt whilst explaining all the terrors and evils that Hell in a Cell has to offer. And then would go on to say that he's gonna try to get the Fiend not to be mean to Seth Rollins, only for him to say, just kidding, laugh maniacally, and then say, bye, bye, come on Mercy, tell the folks bye. Only for the theme of the Firefly Funhouse to hit, and before it would hit, Bray Wyatt giving a firm warning that the Fiend can't wait to see Seth Rollins tonight. Does that mean doom and gloom for Seth once again during another match he would have prior to Hell in a Cell? Well, find out next time, folks, because immediately after we're done with this musical and commercial break, we'll be back with the second half of what happened during the season premiere of Monday Night Raw from Pheonix, Arizona, right after this. So don't fall asleep just yet, folks, and stay tuned.